So I was at a car show, and the car show had a bunch of vendors there. It was the Ducktail Run car show in Gas City, and of course, as there always is, there was a lot of vendors there. So there was a guy selling Hot Wheels, and so of course I bought a whole bunch of Hot Wheels. So I guess we'll start with what's in this bag here. There's some really good stuff you'll want to see, but we're going to start with this. Well, this was in the bag too, but I pulled it out. I don't know why she put it in the bag, but I guess we'll start with this thing. Let's angle this down. So, all I really know is it's a little steam car. I don't know a whole lot about it. It's made pretty good though. This is a 1894 Des Doines Bouton. And this was made by Rio in Italy. Pretty detailed little car. So it's a little steam car, as you can probably see. Rolls pretty good. The box would have been better. Whoa! Well, there went one. And that's it. So we're going to start with these. Box would have been better than the bag, but whatever. So, got a little Tonka dump truck here, a miniature Mighty Tonka. And the cab is die cast, well, the top of the cab, and then the dump bed's die cast. The rest of it's plastic. Cool little Tonka truck here. It says 768 up there. Pretty cool, looks just like the bigger ones. Except they're made a little better, or they used to be. Haven't bought a new one in a while because the new ones aren't made as good, so I don't know. Maybe the new ones do have a lot of plastic on it. I know they have more than the old ones do. It rolls pretty good. So we're going back a few years with this one. This is a Tonka truck. It's I can't talk. It's a little replica. I can't talk today. It's a little replica of the Tonka trucks like they had when they first started out in '47. So this is a miniature of a newer Tonka truck. This is a miniature of the beginnings of Tonka. And that is their original logo there on the side of the truck. The camera won't focus. But this part of the cab is die cast. No, this part of the cab's plastic. The frame of it is die cast, I guess. And then the bed and the top of the cab's plastic. It's got some pretty cool looking wheels on it though. I wouldn't have guessed these wheels to roll very well, but looks like they roll pretty good. Now the tailgate on the dump truck doesn't open up, but it dumps. Wow. I would not have expected that to roll as well as it does. Alright, and we got a old Ford pickup here. Probably about a 40 Ford. And this is a Racing Champions. This was probably a Hot Rod Magazine truck. It doesn't say, but I would kind of assume that it was at one point. And it's got the little tailgate opens up on it. Got rubber tires on it. It's got this wacky, cool paint job on it. Are the doors open? No, they don't. They just look like they do. They might open. I know the hood opens. Great big hot rod engine in there. Surprised that mirror didn't get broke off in the bag. I wasn't thrilled when she put that in the bag. No spare tire on it. I think these doors open. I just gotta find something small enough to put in there to try. Oh, wait. No, I can tell by the way the interior is. I don't think these doors open up. No, they don't. I didn't think they did, but the more I got to looking at it, I thought maybe they do. But it's a nice truck. I don't think the base is metal, but the rest of it's all metal. It rolls okay. Bought a boat. I think this is a Matchbox boat, like a Lesney. I hope it is, because I have a Lesney trailer. And I think this is the boat for it. If it's not the boat for it, I think it'll fit on there. Just a little plastic boat though, and these do actually float. A little tractor, like lawnmower type of trailer here. What do they call? Oh, this is a motorcycle trailer. Okay. Originally from '79. I'm going to say this is probably the remake of this trailer that they did back in the 90s. But they're good for putting little stuff on them, like a lawnmower or something of that sort. That's what I bought it for, because none of my trailers are really wide enough for any of my lawnmowers. So that one's wide enough. Fit the boat on it too. Ford can haul the boat. Alright, we got the 80s Corvette. This is the one I've been looking for. I just haven't really found one in good enough shape for me to decide to buy it. I have the orange one that's not as detailed as this one. This is the one I've been looking for though. It says 80s Corvette on the bottom. It's all die cast. The hood opens. That's the main point of it that I liked about it, was the hood opened. The other ones, the hood does not open. And then your center console and your seats and whatever sort of luggage is in the back is red plastic, and the tail lights, which you can't see without the flashlight. Can you kind of see that they're red? But that's all stuff that's special to this casting. The other one is not this detailed. But I've been looking for that one, so I was glad to find that. And it rolls real good too. Most of the Hot Wheels that have these Hot Ones wheels on them roll excellent. Then we got a old Hot Wheels truck here. I think this is called Combat Medic. Don't hold me to that though. I could be thinking of a different Hot Wheels truck. But whatever this one is called, it's a fire truck, which I have quite a few of this model. Somebody painted it black and blue. It looks like it was originally red, as you can see in the inner fender there. It's got the red line wheels on it though, so this one is a original one. And it's got these bases here, the bumper cast into the back. You could also, the base fits on the Super Van as well. So, little fun fact about this truck. It's dusty, but I sort of like how the person painted it. I'll do a little touch-up work on it, but I'm not gonna like repaint it or anything. I I rather like how they have painted it. The blue and black. It's not a horrible paint job. It's not the greatest, but it's not horrible either. This isn't so hot, but the rest of it's okay. That one rolls pretty good too. That's probably one of the better rolling versions of that truck that I have. Switching over to a Matchbox here. I think this is a Lesney. Yeah. SS100 Jaguar from 1982. This is not an 82, but it's from 82. Obviously, this is a little older than 82, but very cool car. Hood's a separate piece, but I do not believe it opens in any sort of way. I'm surprised the windshield's not broke off. See how flimsy these are? They are very prone to breaking. So I was surprised to see it was still there. It doesn't have the top with it, but the top is usually missing. And all these cars were $1. So, $1 a piece. So, well, this one was $2. The steam car was $2, but the rest were $1 a piece. So I feel like that was a good deal for all. A plastic boat, I don't know if it was worth $1, but it's an old Lesney boat, and I don't have any Lesney boats. I don't have very many boats in general except for the Greenlight ones, so I bought it. This is a reproduction of a Miku Lesney. Moko. Miku. I can't think of the name of but anyway, Miku Lesney. This here is the moving truck Matchbox removal service. Now this is a pretty cool truck. If you look in there, you can see the window in the back of the cab. And if you look in the box here, you can see that window in the back. Let's get our flashlight out again. You can see these, well, maybe. You can see they're not painted inside at all. Pretty simple castings. And that tailgate's a separate piece, but I can't get it to drop down. I don't think it does, and I don't want to break it off. So these Miku Lesneys, yeah, you can see it's a reproduction because it says 1993 on the bottom. But they're reproductions of the very early Lesney trucks, with the metal wheels. And there's lots of ways to tell that these are reproductions versus the originals, but other than the copyright, like an original would have crimped axles on it. The rivets were different. Some of them didn't even use rivets, but there's a lot of ways to tell. But I like this casting, so I bought it. What we have here, I believe, is a Zylamex or a Yatming, one of the two. Some sort of tanker truck of some kind with these circular, spherical tanks on it. Looks to be a Peterbilt truck. Pretty cool. It's kind of a chocolate brown color. GS360s, that little decal there. I can't talk. GS360, good grief. Can't read, can't talk, can't do anything today, apparently. Let's flip everything over, though. This interests me. First off, because I've never seen this casting before. The body, the metal part of the body looks like the Path Beater, which was a S10 from Hot Wheels, but the rest of it's not Path Beater at all, and this part, the bed part's not either. So it's a different casting, but it sort of seems like it's based off of Path Beater, but it's got a different grill and base and everything. I don't know anything about this truck though. It says convertibles. and the roof sinks down into the truck. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a little circular spring inside of the truck, inside the bottom of it. It says copyright 1989, Mattel Inc., and then the Hot Wheels. So I don't really know anything about this. If you know about it, please put it in the comments below. I will probably try to look this up. But if you know something about it that you could tell me, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I mean, because that top doesn't always drop down, but it's easy to push down, so. I don't exactly understand it, so I bought it because I was curious. Finally bought the Wells Fargo Lesney, the armored vehicle here. Armored Truck, 1976, Lesney Productions. Wells Fargo Armored Service Corporation. Wells Fargo, a division of Baker Industries. So this was the better of the two Wells Fargo trucks that the guy had, so I bought this one. Pretty cool truck. The Land Rover here, I think it's a Safari. Yeah, Land Rover Safari. I have this model, and it's in much better condition. This one, the tow hooks broke off. Hey, what's going on here? This one doesn't have an interior in it, and the luggage is tore off of it. Let me get the original one. That's an original one. Here's what it's supposed to look like. Now, granted, mine's dirty, but it's supposed to look like this, and it's got all kinds of luggage on the top of it, and it's got a white interior in it. This one, the interior has been removed, which means that they have taken this apart before, somehow. But anyhow, there it is. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it, but it had nice Lesney wheels on it anyway, so even if I use the wheels and then customize the rest of it, which is probably what I'll do, use those wheels for something better. We got a Fiero here. It's dirty, but it's in good shape. I like this casting from Hot Wheels, especially with the Fiero emblem on the hood there. Really cool. I like the Fieros. I think they're cool cars. 1984. The Hot Ones, as you can see, it's got Hot Ones wheels on it. Fiero M24. I promise you I can read. 2M4. It's late at night. I'll blame it on that. But even though I can't read today, apparently, I like the Pontiac Fieros. I'm a big Pontiac guy, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with the Fieros, lots of body kits and stuff you can buy for them, but I just like the stock Fieros. I think they're cool looking. So, 4 more here. We have the Rollerblade Ford Aerostar van, which is another weird thing that I like. This one, the base is very shiny on it. Now, I'm not familiar with, I mean, I know what a rollerblade is, but I'm not familiar with this casting from Hot Wheels, the Rollerblade van. So, but you can see it's got the rollerblade there. It says rollerblade on the side with some kind of cool 80s graphics on it. I don't know if all of the Aerostars had this reflective windshield in them, but all 3 of mine do, and this one, so I guess all 4 of mine do. This one's in really good shape, though. There's not any chips in it anywhere. I mean, it's just incredible. It looks brand new. So, it's probably going to go straight up on the shelf instead of going down in the little city. Got a pretty cool Dodge here. It's lower than I would like it, but it's a cool truck. It's also got the shaved bumper. So, you know, it's kind of a hot rodded looking truck. This is a Johnny Lightning. What year are we looking at here? A 1994 Dodge Ram. So pretty cool. Hood does not open on this one. It's got plastic wheels on it, plastic tires. Cool graphics on it though. It made it kind of different. So that's why I bought it. It had cool graphics. We have our Ertl Chevy Thriftmaster pickup. Probably a 3100. Doesn't say. Just says Ertl, licensed by GM Corporation. So I have the one, looks just like this truck, but it says John Deere Corporation on the side, or John Deere Implements or something. It's got the John Deere logo on both doors. But other than that, looks exactly like this truck. I really like those trucks, so as you can see, I've got a bigger one up here. Then this delivery truck here, I can't think of the name of this, but the decals that, or the tampos or whatever you want to call them, that's on this truck, this was in the 30th anniversary series. This would have been in one of those big blue packages. It's got really thin plastic fenders on it. Headlights are still there. They get busted off typically. But I like these decals that's on here. They're pretty cool. And I didn't want to open mine up, so I was glad to find one. Because I don't like to open my 30th anniversary ones because of the cool packaging that they're in. It's going to look kind of dark for some reason. But there it is up there hiding in the corner. That's the same one that I have in my hand right now. The yellow 32 Ford delivery truck. So we're through with that bag. Got another bag of loose cars here. We're just gonna dump them out here. Now this one has some Hot Wheels and some Tootsie Toys in here. Our Volkswagen's running away. So we have the 81 Ford cab-over truck here, rapid delivery. This one's got the plastic base on it. And when I found all of these $1 cars, these were separate, but all of these cars here were in a big bin, and the stake bed on the back was tore off. But I saw this on the top of the pile, and I was like, that's yellow. I know exactly what the truck looks like that goes with. And I have this truck already, but mine has different wheels on it. Mine's a different variation than this one. I think mine has a chrome base on it too. But very common for this bed to come off of there. I always like this casting though, so if they're cheap I pick them up. I don't think they're really worth anything, but I like collecting them. We have a funny Volvo here. It says safety on the hood and a number 1. And then apparently this is on sale. It says save $78,500. It says special on the back. I like those little stickers. It's a very crude casting though. I mean, look at all the little flashing around the windows. I mean, you can file that off pretty easy, but you can tell it's kind of a cheaply made car. But I have this car, but it's green, and it's the older version of this car. older version of this car, the plastic came up to where this body trim is right here. Came up like that. Mine actually says safety on it, but it is this green color, and I think safety is in red. I couldn't find it though, so I can't show it to you in the video. I tried to buy some Tootsie toys that I didn't already have. Now I do have this one, but someone stomped on it before I got it, and the top was all mashed in, so finally got one that was in good shape. This is a 1939 Mercedes. Pretty cool car here. And we have the little hot rod here. I do have this one, but it's got a gas barrel in the back of it instead of a rumble seat. So a little different casting here. This one happens to be brown. Just says Roadster. Then this casting I had never seen before. It's a little pickup truck. Kind of a beigeish tan color. Giant 4 on the bottom. It says Tootsie Toy in the roof, but it doesn't say what it is. Which is too bad, because I'm very curious as to what this is supposed to represent. And then we have a, all I can think of is a road grader. It's not a road grader, it's an earth mover. I know it's not a road grader. My brain's just not working tonight. This doesn't even say Tootsie Toy on it anywhere. I can see where there's supposed to be letters. Right there, though. That V, I bet this says Volvo something or other. Volvo makes big equipment like this, and they have for a long time. So that could be what this is. There's a big Volvo earth mover truck. But this is a heavy little Tootsie Toy. And, you know, I mean, they don't roll all that great, but they're cheap. You know, they're not very expensive to collect. And for some reason, I enjoy collecting them, so I do. Also got a fire truck here. This is a very long Tootsie Toy. This is pretty abnormal. You know, usually they're pretty short, like this little pickup. But, fire truck's pretty long. It doesn't have the ladder on it. I wouldn't expect it to, though. These things are pretty old, so for this to still have its ladder would be pretty incredible. Cool old fire truck, though. Kind of rough, but it's cool. This says Tootsie Toy, Chicago, USA. Doesn't even say fire truck in it. I guess they hope that you can probably figure out that it's a fire truck. And I would certainly hope so. This bin here is for an old Lesney drop-off dumpster truck. I dug through the whole box. Could not find the truck that this goes with. So I just went ahead and I don't think she charged me for the dumpster or the roof, which was good, because I didn't really want to pay $1 for this roof. But the dumpster, I have a dumpster truck that doesn't have a dumpster, so I think this should fit either one of my dumpster trucks. This is a roof for the Model A box truck, from Matchbox. I have a video where I turn a Model A box truck into a pickup. If you've seen that, great. If you haven't, go check it out. Now here, we've got a Pontiac Grand Prix NASCAR Aqua Fresh. Only reason I bought it is because It's a Pontiac Grand Prix, and this is my favorite body style of the Grand Prix with the pretty narrow, slender headlights on it. I wish that some company would make a like civilian model. They're all NASCARs, so they're not really a Grand Prix. They just are kind of decorated like one. But it's got the opening hood. It's got the Buckshot signature on the bottom there. If it'll focus. It says Buckshot up there. See, Aqua Fresh. Can't talk. So I got a few NASCARs. I've kind of got out of the habit of buying NASCARs because I buy them and then they go in the shoebox. But these primer gray ones I think are pretty cool. This one is a Ford, probably a Thunderbird. It's got the number 11 and Ford and the Amoco logo on the back, and that's it. Pretty simple matte gray, primer gray car. 1992 Racing Champions. I don't even know whose car this is supposed to be. Rolls real good though. Wow. Rolled right out of the view of the camera. Then the Monte Carlo. This says Prototype Monte Carlo. This is a Racing Champions car. Number 51. Obviously then it would be made by Racing Champions. 1986 to 1989 Monte Carlo. 1992 Racing Champions. So pretty cool car here. This one won't go in the shoebox. This one will probably stay out. Bought another Volkswagen here. I forget what this one's called though. Brasilia. Volkswagen Brasilia. Bright green one. I have an orange one, but don't have the bright green one. I actually didn't ever see the bright green one when it was in the store. So. Bonus car 98. I don't know if that means something that makes this special or not. I just made the connection though. I think this is the body style of this funny car I think is supposed to be a last generation Trans Am. But they used this chassis here forever for all their funny cars. So it just says 1977 on the bottom, Hot Wheels. And it's supposed to open up. This is how a lot of these come apart, is you try to open them up and there's tabs on the back brake. I'm telling you, this opened up great at the show. I just can't get it to open now. There we go. It finally opened up for us. So yeah, I don't know if the whole bonus car thing makes this a special car or not. But apparently it's from 1998, which would be about right for this body style of Trans Am. So got the little Ford Focus, Meguiar's rally car, race car here. Ford Focus. I have one of these I got at the junkyard, but I took it apart to fix it, and it ended up not being able to be fixed quite like it was supposed to be, so I finally decided to buy another one since it was, I think these were 25 cents. All of these in this last box were 25 cents a piece, so the NASCARs and the stuff. You know me with this Mopar Dodge Rally truck here. I just buy every one of them that I see. I do that at the store too. So, I mean, I don't know why. It's kind of been fun for me to collect it though, and it's easy to customize and it's fun to customize. So I buy them every chance I get. This, I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's an old car though. I mean, not just is it obviously it's an old car. It's like a 20s or 30s car of some kind, but this casting itself is older. Not only can you tell by the rivets, but you can also tell by the spare tire here being rubber, how thin and kind of warpy the plastic is. If you've been around these cheap cars for a while, you're probably familiar with all of that stuff. But I was surprised it still had the headlights. And even though it's a cheap car, kind of crudely made, I went ahead and bought it. And like I said, been out of the habit of buying NASCARs, but whenever I see a Petty car, I have to buy it. And this one's a salute to Petty. The Cheerios car. Big Dodge NASCAR here. I think these were a McDonald's car. I don't think they sold these like at the store. Says 2001 Intrepid. I couldn't remember what this was. And the Hormel Foods off-roader here. I'm gonna go tell you the name of that truck. Okay, I lied. I won't tell you the name of this. I thought this was Tall Rider, but Tall Rider is the van that looks like this. So I don't remember what the name of this is. It doesn't really matter to me. Normally I would not have bought this truck, but I do like the casting. I just don't buy very many of them. But a neon green truck, especially with advertising on it, I thought, you know what, I'll go ahead and buy that. So I think that's the end of the loose cars. The rest of them I think are packaged. I guess we're opening the Siku, so I'll go ahead and show it to you. We'll start into the packaged trucks here. So I think these were $1. The Siku cement mixer here, Mercedes-Benz cement mixer. Now, the Sikus are not sold in the stores in the United States, so I like to buy them when I can, because usually they're expensive. But you can see all of the different languages on the back of this, and actually on the part that says cement mixer. It's a big Mercedes cement mixer. Now, I couldn't figure out which one of these to open, because I was going to open one and leave one in the package. Well, I answered my question by accidentally dropping this one on the stairs and cracking the blister on it. So, thankfully I did not drop both of them, and this one will be hung up on the wall, as long as I don't break it. This one we will go ahead and open up without PVC, so I guess this doesn't have PVC plastic in it. When's this from before we tear this open? We don't get to know when it's from because there's no year on the bottom of it. I must say it's from the 90s, early 2000s. It's not super old. It doesn't want to open though. There we go. Now usually these Sikus are heavier than this. Brand new out of the package. Mercedes Siku cement mixer. Mercedes E9111. I'll just assume that's the model of it. That could just be a random license plate number. I don't know anything about Mercedes big commercial trucks. All I know is that Mercedes owns Freightliner. It's got the same license plate number on the back though, with a little trailer hitch. Or that point, that's not a trailer hitch. That keeps the barrel from dumping back onto the ground. It's a nice little truck though. Barrel spins around. You know, you can put little fine grained sand in there and pour it out. Just says Siku on the bottom. There's many different ways to pronounce that. I say Siku. I've heard Siku. I've heard a little bit of everything. Getting into, I'm not taking this out of the package. This is a Matchbox Adventure Pack from the 90s, or maybe I'll say early 2000s to keep myself safe. Nope, 97. But there's some pretty cool sets here. The mining one's cool. Roadside Assistance, that's the one I bought. That one just has different trucks there. Mine didn't come with barrels. Oh, this one came with barrels, mine came with cones. Fire Rescue and Safari Trip. So we have the breakdown van here, the Chevy. Rob's Towing, I haven't seen that one before. And then we got the Camaro back here, the convertible, which apparently broke down and needed roadside assistance. I like how they have the breakdown van in the package, but in the background they have the 87 Chevy. Or 89 Chevy, or whatever it is. And we got a guy with a very small tire and a jack. And we got a roll-around jack and a guy with a wrench, and that could be a lot of different things. I will say it's a giant oil can. Because it's probably not a grease gun or a torch. So that's staying in the package. So is this, but the protective thing, I will take it out and show you guys. I see why this is in the protective thing. This package is crinkly. But this is the 1980 Atlas dump truck from Lesney. Now I have 2 or 3 of the Atlas truck out of the package, so I was glad to find one in the package. This is the tinted clear window version with a painted base. There's also a orange tinted window version. I have one of each version. Got the motorcycle transporter on the back there. I'd like to have that casting, but I just haven't got on the internet and searched for it, I don't think. But there's the Lesney Products Corporation. Okay, here, you send this in with 25 cents and you get a copy of the Matchbox full color pocket catalog. That'd be a cool thing to have. But since Lesney doesn't own Matchbox anymore, I don't even know if Lesney still makes their own toys or not. But this package is smashed. But got a big 18-wheeler big rig on there. Pretty cool. So I this is actually a Hot Wheels protective package, but unfortunately it's pretty yellowed, the protective package is, but that's alright. I don't care what color it is, as long as it keeps this package. I put that in there not level, not even. That bothers me. I folded the corners too, but I will fix that now because that's going to drive me crazy. We're not folding these corners in, guys. I may not be able to get it in there without folding the corners. No, it's been folded in there already, because me folding it one time wouldn't have made it do that. So we'll stick that back there. Okay, I guess we're into stuff I'm not opening right now. We'll get into stuff I will open later on. Here we have the Kraft Cheezosaurus Rex Nissan off-road truck. Here's the Cheezosaurus Rex, the C-Rex Mobile. Special limited edition. It's got Cheezosaurus Rex on the hood and on the side of the truck. And I have never seen this truck before. Pretty simple on the back, says 1993. Pretty simple back. So obviously that must have been some kind of exclusive truck of some kind. This was also an exclusive, as you can see, exclusive edition. This one doesn't even have a punch out on the top of it. This one does. The Chuck E. Cheese's custom van. And I've never even seen this casting before from Hot Wheels. It looks like the Super Van, but if you look closely, it's not. It says Chuck E. Cheese's on the side. I'd like to have this truck out of the package, but I'm not opening this one. It's got the rat on the back, or the mouse, or whatever he is. This one's from '96. I have a heck of a time figuring out how to hang these up usually when they don't have a punch out in them. Because I don't stick them in those protective cases usually. So what I do is I stick them on the wall and then I stick a pin under it, on both sides. I don't stick it in the cardboard, I just, stick the pin under it. So that's usually how I hang those up. Alright. Seems like I have more, but I don't think I do. So I'm gonna do a separate video on this Ertl playset here. But this is the Napa playset here. Napa Auto Parts. Comes with a GMC step side, a Ford panel van, Pontiac Trans Am, and a Corvette, split window Corvette. I don't know why the van's in there sideways unless it fell through that plastic. But hopefully you can open this box without damaging it, because if I think you can. I think this has been opened before. I think that's probably how that van is like that. Yeah, it just opens up. Alright. So we're going to open this up next video. Hopefully we don't have to tear up anything to put it together. Because if we do, it's going back in the package. I'm not going to open it up and do a lot of stuff to possibly damage it. But there's what it looks like. I have this van. It's in really bad shape though, so hopefully this, obviously since these are in pretty good shape, I think we're set up here. I like how this says will become another collector's item. And this is a pretty valuable set. Van, pickup, Firebird, and Corvette made in Hong Kong. Ertl Company. Does not come with hats. It's got the Ertl stamp there though. So this side, I know you're upside down, but you got your Napa Auto Parts sign that tells about it. There we go. This side has your vehicles here. Place at Napa Parts Store with die-cast metal vehicles. Oh, that's a different van than the one I have. Wonder if this set's newer or older than the van that I have. But anyhow, separate video on that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe for more. And see you next time.